I never imagined that leaving Islam would almost cost me my life, but it did. My name is Fatima Hassan, and this is my story. The day my family found out I had left Islam, everything changed. I was no longer their daughter, their sister, or their friend. To them, I had brought shame, and for that, I deserved to die. I still remember the fire, the searing pain, the unbearable heat, and the sickening smell of my own flesh burning. I thought it was the end, but it wasn't. In that moment, as my body was being destroyed, I left this world, and what I saw changed everything. I saw Jesus. I felt his presence, his love, and what he told me transformed my life forever. This is my testimony. This is how I died and came back completely changed. I was born into a devout Muslim family. From the time I could speak, I was taught how to pray, how to recite the Quran, and how to obey. Islam wasn't just a religion in our home. It was our entire identity, our way of life. Questioning it was unthinkable. For years, I followed every rule. I fasted during Ramadan, covered myself as expected, and did everything to be the perfect Muslim woman. But deep inside, I struggled. There were things I couldn't understand, things that made me feel distant from God instead of closer to Him. But I kept those doubts to myself. Doubt was dangerous. Asking the wrong questions could lead to shame, punishment, or worse. So I stayed silent. But then something changed. I started hearing stories about Jesus, stories I had never been told before. I had always been taught that he was just a prophet, nothing more. But when I secretly began reading about him, something inside me stirred. Why did his words feel so different? Why did his message feel so personal? I couldn't ignore the pull I felt toward him. I started searching, reading, and watching testimonies of people who had encountered Jesus. And then the dreams began. I would see a man in white, glowing with a peaceful presence. He never spoke, but I felt his love. I didn't understand it at the time, but deep down, I knew it was him. The more I learned, the more restless I became. If Islam was the absolute truth, why did I feel so lost? Why did I feel so empty? I knew I couldn't ignore it any longer. Then came the most terrifying decision of my life. I chose to walk away from Islam. But leaving wasn't just about changing what I believed. It meant losing everything: my family, my community, my safety. I kept it hidden for as long as I could. I prayed in silence, read the Bible in secret, and only whispered my doubts. But secrets don't stay buried forever. And one day my family found out. It started with suspicion. Why wasn't I praying anymore? Why did I seem different? Then they found my Bible. The moment their eyes landed on it, the house erupted into chaos. My father's face twisted with rage. My mother collapsed in tears. My brothers, they looked at me like I was a traitor. I tried to explain, but they wouldn't listen. To them, I had disgraced our family, our name, and everything they believed in. In an instant, love turned into hatred. The people who had once protected me became the ones I feared the most. At first, there were threats. They told me I had to repent, to return to Islam, or face the consequences, but I couldn't. I had seen the truth. I knew Jesus was real. No matter how much I begged for their understanding, their hearts had already turned to stone. And then the threats became something far worse. One night, they cornered me. My pleas meant nothing. Their minds were made up. I remember the first strike, the force of it knocking me to the ground. Then their hands grabbing me, dragging me outside. The air was cold, but their fury burned hotter than anything I had ever known. I saw the container of gasoline before I smelled it. The liquid soaked my clothes, trickling down my skin. I screamed. I fought, but they held me down. The match was struck. And then, fire. There are no words to describe the pain. My body became an inferno. Flames crawled up my arms, my legs, my face. My screams filled the night, but no one came. No one stopped them. I collapsed. The world blurred. My vision darkened, and I could feel my life slipping away. The agony slowly faded into numbness. I thought this was the end. But then something happened. The pain disappeared. The sounds around me grew distant. I was no longer on the ground, no longer in my body. I was somewhere else, somewhere beyond this world. And that's when I saw him. As the fire consumed me, everything faded. The pain, the screams, the world itself. It all slipped away. I felt weightless, as if something was lifting me, pulling me away from my broken body. Then I saw it, my own body lying there, charred, lifeless. My family stood around me, some in shock, others turning away. I should have felt pain, grief, something, but I didn't. Instead, I felt detached, as if I were simply watching someone else suffer. Then suddenly everything changed. The world around me vanished, and I was plunged into darkness, a deep, suffocating void. It was colder than anything I had ever felt, not just physically, but in my soul. I was utterly alone. Then the whispers began. They came from every direction. Harsh, mocking voices. They accused me. They condemned me. You betrayed the truth. You left the path. You deserve this. Their words crushed me. Fear wrapped around me like chains. Was this hell? Had I made the wrong choice? I wanted to scream. I wanted to run, but there was nowhere to go. The darkness felt endless, pressing in on me from all sides. Just as despair threatened to consume me, a light appeared. At first, it was distant, a faint glow cutting through the blackness, but it grew brighter, warmer, and suddenly I wasn't alone. Then I heard my name. A voice, strong yet gentle, called to me, "Fatima." And that's when I saw him. Jesus stood before me, surrounded by a light so pure, so radiant, I couldn't look away. But it wasn't just light, it was love. A love so deep, so overwhelming, that for the first time in my life, I felt whole. I fell to my knees. I couldn't speak, I couldn't move. I just wept. And then he reached out to me. His eyes were filled with compassion. "You are loved. You are mine. It is not your time yet." In an instant, the fear, the guilt, the loneliness, all of it vanished. A peace unlike anything I had ever known washed over me. Then I saw something else, a glimpse of a place beyond this world, a place filled with joy, love, and worship. A place where there was no pain, no fear, only pure, eternal peace. I knew without a doubt that I was seeing heaven. And in that moment, I understood. I had been searching for him all my life. Through all the doubt, the fear, the rejection, he had been calling me. He had never abandoned me. "You must go back," he said. "Tell them what you have seen." I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay in that light, in his presence. But before I could say a word, I felt myself being pulled back into the world, back into my body. And then, with a desperate gasp, I woke up. My first breath felt like being dragged out of deep water. I choked, my lungs burning, gasping for air. Distant voices shouted and cried around me, but everything felt far away. Then the pain hit. It seared through my body, unbearable, but something inside me was different. I had been in the presence of Jesus. I knew that for certain. When my family saw me alive, their faces twisted in shock and fear. I should have been dead. The doctors had already said there was no chance of survival. My burns were too severe. There was no medical explanation for why I was breathing again. And yet, I was. They rushed me to the hospital, where the doctors stared at me as if they had seen a ghost. "She shouldn't be alive," one of them whispered. They told me that even if I survived, I would live in unbearable pain for the rest of my life. But something incredible happened. I began to heal, faster than anyone expected. Scars that should have taken years to fade began to disappear. The doctors were baffled. The nurses called it a miracle, but I knew exactly what it was. Jesus had touched me. He had brought me back for a reason. When I was finally able to speak, I told them everything. I told them about the darkness, the voices, the fear, and then the light, the love, the moment I saw Jesus. Not everyone believed me. Some called it a hallucination. Others refused to listen at all. But the hardest part was my family. Realizing I hadn't changed my mind, that I had only become stronger in my faith, they turned even colder. But no matter what they said, nothing could shake what I knew to be true. I knew the truth. Jesus was real. He hadn't just saved me from death, he had rescued me from eternal darkness. I had to share what I had seen, even if people rejected me, even if it meant standing alone. I couldn't stay silent. As I recovered, I realized I wasn't the same person who had once lived in fear. The questions that had haunted me for years were gone. I didn't need to search anymore. I had found the truth, or rather, he had found me. Slowly, my story began to spread. People started to listen. Some came to me in secret, whispering their own doubts, asking about the Jesus I had met. Others, who like me had felt lost, began seeking him for themselves. I was no longer afraid, not of death, not of rejection, not of what would happen next, because I knew I had met the Savior, and nothing would ever be the same again. I was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. For so many years, I lived in fear, afraid of asking the wrong questions, afraid of losing my family, afraid of what would happen if I turned away from everything I had ever known. But when I finally let go of that fear and sought the truth with an open heart, Jesus found me. He didn't come with anger or condemnation. He came with love, with open arms, calling me his own. If you're searching, if you feel that emptiness inside, don't ignore it. That longing in your heart, that restlessness in your soul, it's not meaningless. It's Jesus calling you, just as he called me. He is real. His love is real. I know what it's like to be afraid of the truth, to wonder if following it will cost you everything. But I'm here to tell you, it's worth it. No matter your past, no matter your mistakes, Jesus offers you a new beginning. He offers love, redemption, and a peace that nothing in this world can give. If you've ever wondered about life after death, this is proof. There is something beyond this life. There is a God who loves you, who sees you, who wants you. He wants to bring you into his light. If you're searching, if you're unsure, just ask. Ask God to reveal himself to you. I promise, he will, just as he did for me. This is my story, but it doesn't have to be just mine. It can be yours too. My journey isn't just about pain and suffering. It's about redemption, about the overwhelming love of Jesus. I was lost, but he found me. I was dead, but he gave me life again. I paid the ultimate price for leaving Islam. I was betrayed, abandoned, and burned alive. But in death, I met the one who is truly alive. Jesus. He rescued me. He healed me, and he gave me a new purpose. Now, I live to share his love with the world. But I want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you believe in near-death experiences? Have you ever felt something divine in your own life? Something so powerful, so unexplainable, that it left you changed forever? Maybe you've had a moment where you felt a presence you couldn't describe, a peace that didn't make sense, or a sign so clear it couldn't be ignored. Maybe you're still searching, still wondering, still waiting for that moment when everything makes sense. I'd love to hear your story. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a space where people can be open, honest, and unafraid to ask the big questions. If this testimony touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Someone out there needs to hear this. Someone is struggling in silence, afraid to ask, afraid to seek, afraid of what the truth might cost them. But the truth is worth everything. So like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe for more powerful testimonies of faith and transformation. Every story has the power to change a life, including yours. And if you're searching for answers, if you've ever felt that emptiness inside that nothing in this world can fill, know this: Jesus is waiting for you, not with judgment, not with anger, but with love, with open arms, with the peace and purpose you've been longing for. You are not alone, no matter where you've been, no matter what you've done. He sees you, He knows you, and He loves you more than you could ever imagine. The truth is real. The truth is out there. The truth is a person. His name is Jesus. Are you ready to find Him?
If you have a powerful, faith-filled testimony, let us share it with the world. God bless you.